in heaven, everything is fine. You've got your good things and I've got mine. So today I picked for us to watch Eraserhead. This is David Lynch's first film, and it's a doozy of a first film. I would be very happy if this was my first film. And I chose this one because this is technically going to be our Halloween special. And thought it'd be a fun one to watch because it's a little weird and surreal. It's not like as crazy as most surrealistic films, but I like it quite a bit. What are your initial thoughts, boys?
So I guess we'll get into it, but it was interesting, I suppose. Some stuff happened in the film that was okay. How about you, Chris?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. There were a few different moments where I was like, oh, and oh, and then oh, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this. I think the main thing to go off of with this movie is how it's like a depiction of like a nightmarish version of becoming a father and like the anxiety and fear that one would have from that.
Mm-hmm.
And just the anxiety and fear of like that happening just in general, not even just like if it were to happen. It's like
it's happening.
Yeah.
Kind of what I got. It was kind of like almost a Christian theme to it.
Yeah.
Because they have premarital sex and they create an abomination to God.
Oh, God.
So that,
Well,
don't do it, kids.
Initially, I was gonna be like, well, David Lynch does call this his most spiritual film,
Okay.
but I don't think that's what he's going for.
Pretty much off the cuff. That's the wrong word. Pretty much from the start. Shut up. Pretty much from the start, this movie has you, as an audience member, feeling very much what Henry is feeling, with like just the ambiance, like the lighting and like the droning in the background, like this sort of sense of anxiety or like impending doom, and like just like walls being very claustrophobic, or like things like towering over him.
Yeah, there's nothing really warm about his apartment. It seems like this industrial park type thing, and it's like, yeah, you feel like you're not in a good place, or you're not in like a cozy place.
Well, then early in the movie, we find out that he's on vacation.
Yeah.
It's like you look at, like, we watch him in the first scene just like walking around with his like two things in his grocery bag.
Mm-hmm.
He's like falling in puddles and trying to make his way home.
Walking on
like,
mounds of dirt, and like
that's vacation for him. And so it's just kind of like, and then when he gets to his apartment, he has a potted plant that doesn't have a pot. It's like
it's just sitting on like a piece of like a doily.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, yeah, he's not prepared for anything. It's just like he's just kind of coasting through life. So it's like it's even more so that he's not prepared to be a father and like have this responsibility. And so it's, yeah, I like that stuff. Because it's just like when he says that he's on vacation, I'm like, oh, that's vacation for him, huh?
In the scene when he goes and visits Mary at her parents' place, there's a lot of like very present metaphors, like this like blowing wind on like the side of the house. It's like this high pressure wind. So it's like a tense, like high pressure situation that he's walking into. And then at first, like, she's just like staring at him through the window and like is very closed off. And then she like opens the door and finally lets him in. You know, and like we were chuckling, or I was, at a lot of the exchange between him and the parents.
The dad was pretty great.
Yeah. Because it's so typical. Like the dad just talks to like fill the negative space.
Well, it kind of like feels like what you wouldn't expect, because you'd kind of feel like the dad would be like pressuring him to stick with her and take care of the baby, sort of thing. I mean, generally, because he would be like, I'm upset that you got her pregnant, sort of thing.
Sure.
But like in that whole scene, he's just like kind of, he's the talkative dad. He's kind of like the weird, you know, they think that pipes grow on buildings, but I'm the one that's putting them together.
Yeah, it's like he's like only talks about his job and like how he's underappreciated.
And how his arm doesn't work, but he got it to work by rubbing it. I don't know.
He's afraid to cut it, so he has other people cut his food for him.
Yeah. But it's, yeah, very dad energy.
Yeah. Man, so many like disassociative, like, you know, visions and stuff. Like Henry is so plagued by this like neuroticism that like sends him into this like different dimension almost.
The whole movie just feels like a nightmare. It's like anxious and, you know, grotesque, and the baby looks great.
Yeah, Levi was kind of grossed out by how wet it was.
Yeah.
But I liked the way that it looked. The eye was really good, and the like the tongue, just the way that it like moved, the sounds, like everything was like really good. And then like when it was sick, it was just like gross looking, but like when it was healthy looking, it was kind of cute in a disgusting way.
Yeah. I'd breastfeed it.
Yeah, actually, I kind of wondering if we are for sure know what that was, or if it was an actual alien that came down that they hired to be in the movie. It kind of looked like a real creature.
Well, I think it benefits from it being shot in black and white, because like you could make it look, you know, it's his first movie, so it's kind of lower budget. So it's like doing something like that, especially in black and white. I feel like, you know, you can get away with a lot of it, and it looks great.
I don't know if it would feel the same at all if it was in color.
No, it would take a lot of like the claustrophobic, anxiety filled like tension out of it if it was in color.
Well, and there are like different moments where he uses the shadows to like pull things in or to like fade things out. Like when the woman who lives across the hall like comes into frame when she's locked out of her apartment. I thought that was really well done, where like he's staring into like this void, this like abyss, and then she just like apparates from the shadows. I really liked that.
The lady in the radiator. Let's talk about her.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah. So first we got to back it up a little bit.
Okay.
There's definitely some like weird, I don't know how to explain it, sexual vibes to this whole film.
Yeah, it's about having a baby.
Yeah, but then like there's there's little wormy guys, which I'm guessing are sperm. What do you guys think?
They kind of look like sperms to me.
Okay. Yeah. But then so they show up, like there's the time when they're in the bed, I believe, and he like throws them against the wall, which I'm guessing.
I interpreted that as like a wet dream.
Yeah. And then
I was kind of thinking of it like that too. But like the most horrific wet dream you could ever have.
But then also they make an appearance in the radiator. So is he like jerking off into the radiator?
No.
Or what's going on with that?
Well, the one thing I noticed when he first walks into his apartment in the beginning of the movie,
Yeah.
he flips the light on, and I see a record player,
Uh-huh.
and the light seems to be like almost spotlighting the record player, and I'm like, oh, maybe he'll put on a record or something. Nope. He sets his keys down, stands there for a minute, walks over to his bed, and then stares at the radiator. And that's like,
there's like some sexual tension between him
no,
and...
I don't know. I don't know.
What I get from her
Okay.
is that she kind of represents like escapism,
Okay.
because she's talking about heaven.
Okay.
She's basically enticing him to come basically kill himself.
Okay.
Because he's not happy with what's going on. It's torture to him. He's basically in hell. So she's like, well, if you come up to heaven, everything will be fine. You don't have to deal with this stuff. That's why when she's like crushing the spermy looking things,
Yeah.
it's like, to me, she's like enticing him, being like, you don't have to deal with this stuff
Okay.
if you come be with me in heaven.
Okay.
Well, and she, like, her cheeks are very, like, engorged, almost, like, cherub-like, how they're, like, because, like, cherubs are, like, fat-cheeked, like, angels. That's what I, like, there's, like, a certain, like, innocence that she is supposed to be exuding, but it comes off as more, like, weird and off.
To me, she looked like Spy Kids 2, one of the creatures from the island. Was that Spy
Are you
Kids?
thinking?
No,
I feel like you're
he's
thinking of the
Fooglies
Fooglies.
from the first one.
From the first one, okay. From the first one.
Yeah, from the first one.
Yeah, she kind of looks like that.
But she's dressed in like, like a bright dress, and like her hair's done up, and she's standing on a stage.
She's got like a kind of a fake smile, kind of like overexcited.
Like almost like a weird looking like Shirley Temple-esque like presentation.
Okay.
That's kind of what I got from she's like angelic, like what you're saying, talking about heaven and stuff. Like she's sort of the one beckoning him to
escape his hell.
Right. Well, and in the end, she embraces him, and then there's a bright white light, and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well, hopefully you've seen this already, watching a review of it. I don't know why.
But also, still you can still watch it.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Please watch
but
it.
You gotta spoilers. Put it up right here.
We'll put it up earlier. We'll go back in time, and then put up the spoiler.
So, do you want to go with sound design or?
Sound? You want to talk about the sound?
What do you guys think about sound design?
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, the sound was good. A lot of unique sounds.
Baby made a lot of disturbing sounds.
Yeah, so there's that one dream where his head pops off and then the baby's like underneath and pops his head up. That was really annoing. But it was
the scream.
the scream was like the most annoying sound in the world. But yeah, it was like interesting, I guess, sound wise.
It's like having a baby.
Yeah, this seems like David Lynch like had a kid and was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Let me put this on film and show people what it's like.
Or son, whatever he had.
Can we talk about why this movie is called Eraserhead?
Yeah, that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
I had never seen this before we watched it, and I was like, I wonder why it's called Eraserhead. I guess I'll find out.
So
I assumed from seeing like, stills from the movie, I'm like, well, his hair is kind of like
squarish. I mean, I think you can just go off of that and that can be why it's Eraserhead. But there's like a more explicit reason why.
Yeah.
In the movie.
So during the whole sequence with like the son or whatever, the child like head replacing his. Somehow his head falls off, plops on the stage, falls through a puddle, off of a building, onto the city street, which it seems like the city is like abandoned. Whenever he's outside, nobody's around, and there's just like rubble everywhere. But that's,
it's a vacation spot.
It's a he just lives like in like the factory district of a city where there's like a homeless man sleeping on, the side of the road and a little boy.
He wanted that head.
I guess so. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, a lot of this movie doesn't make sense, but like I feel like that makes the least amount of sense in this whole movie. Like
I still seem out of place.
Because like, what's the?
I think it's just like he's losing his mind, losing his head, and it's just a weird way to get his head back. Like that's how I just kind of see that.
I guess
it's just like
why erasers?
Because he looks like an eraser. His hair.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's a bad dream.
Yeah, I guess a lot of dreams don't make sense. So
that's why you should never put him in film, because no one's gonna know what's going on.
Except for him.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
So I haven't seen any other like David Lynch thing. I've heard Twin Peaks is really good. I haven't watched it. It's just there's so many.
I've seen a few of his movies, but not too many.
Or like Mulholland Drive. Like I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah.
I hear they're good. Just I haven't watched them. So this was my first David Lynch exposure. Actually, What Did Jack Do? Was my my first ever thing I watched from David Lynch.
Okay.
Check that out if you haven't seen that.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
It's probably the only thing of his that anyone would probably say is cute.
It had a similar energy to Eraserhead, though, for sure. Also black and white, also pretty absurd.
Also monkey.
Oh, I just wanted to talk about the little wormy guy when he's doing his little flips around on the ground. I like that part.
That was Levi's favorite part.
I was like, I perked up a little bit. And
little like claymation worm.
Yeah.
Just doing
it was nice. I don't know. It's like
he opened up his mouth like.
I liked it.
That would be Levi's favorite.
I liked that too. That was good.
So Chris.
Yeah.
What do you think you'll give this one?
Right now?
Yeah.
Here?
Yep. Right here.
In front of
all of our
38 subscribers.
Man. I almost give it 2 thumbs up.
Wow.
Almost. I'll give it a high thumbs up. Because it was very, very interesting. It's very unique. I haven't really seen anything like it. I may have seen things that might have been a little similar, but they came later. So
right, this movie is Lynchian.
Yeah,
People try to say about their movies to be like, I'm unique.
Yeah, it was. I liked it a lot. I laughed. I cried. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll probably watch it again at some point, because I feel like if I watch it again, I might pick up on more stuff than I saw this first time around. Yeah, thumbs up.
So I can appreciate some of the filmmaking in it, but this is not really my type of story. I understand now, talking to you guys a little bit more about maybe some of the thoughts behind the film, but I'm gonna give it a side thumb.
Okay.
It's just not my type of thing.
Fair. Yeah, I would almost give it 2 thumbs up, but I would say it's just a little too slow. Like, this is, like, and I get it. I get that's what's supposed to. It's supposed to be kind of lonesome, but like Chris said, high thumbs up, real high thumbs up, almost 2 thumbs up. It just could have been a little in those lulls. There could have been just a little bit more, but I get it. I get it. Don't come at me, Lynchy bros. I still love the movie. It's okay.
I don't like it. I'm kidding. I like it. But like this much.
Just a little bit. He just likes it a little bit. Chris is gonna love hearing this. Ready for the edit, boy? In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. You got your good things, and I've got mine.